Swordsoul is back and better than ever, and with this video I wanted to give a twist on the Swordsoul strategy because I feel like a lot of people are trying to go first. They're trying to do the regular like Swordsoul, you know, 3 Moe, 3 this, 3 that, and then they're playing the Heavenly Dragon Circle, like, you know, maybe 3 to 9 hand traps. I don't think that's viable. I think that the best way to play Swordsoul is to go second because the Swordsoul engine is just so strong going second. You have the Swordsouls, obviously, because of the Baxia and the Yazi. Those cards are like really good going second. So you have like a bunch of synchro plays that are good going second. You also have the Tennies, which are good going second because of Vishuda. And then you also have stuff like Ecclesia that's really good. And there's just so many different going second cards that are strong in the format, like Evenly Matched, Change of Heart, Lunar Eclipse, even you know, Book of Eclipse. Even Book of Moon is even decent as well. You have stuff like Talents, Thrusting. There's just so many really good going second cards that I feel like going second, at least in the early stages of Swordsoul in the new format, is going to be very, very strong, especially if people don't expect it. They're expecting like, oh, I'm going, you know, first? Wait, you're not going first? You're probably playing something like Mech Knights or something, right? No, you're playing Swordsoul. The deck is like really strong, and I think it's very viable. I'll be going over a replay, not too deep into like narrating every single play, but giving you the key points of the deck and why this build is particularly good. So let's move on to the replay. I'll be zooming through this replay really quick. My opponent's playing Generators, which is not a super strong deck, but it'll show you the power of just going second in general. So they add, you know, the generator cards. They're going through their motions. You know, setting up the turn 1 boss stage is just pretty much the play. They have a new play with the XYZ, which is very strong. But here they're just going to go for Har and I believe, yeah, set 3 pass with the field spell. And now if you see my hand is like very strong. I can bait out the Har, then go evenly match. And then, you know, maybe even Talent, you know, Ashuna, stuff like that. So I don't have Engine here, which is like the bad thing about this. So I have to let this Talents go through. That is very, very important. So, you know, obviously baiting out the hair is like super strong. So now we're going to, yep, use all of that. And then main phase, we're going to use the Book of Eclipse. This is going to easily bait out the Heart because it does have a negate. Also, it could rip a monster from your hand if you add cards, or I think it's specifically, yeah, you add cards from your deck to your hand. So I have to bait out the Heart and also get rid of it off the field because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to, you know, get to my engine. Or, like, it's a very good chance that if I don't draw into, like, 2 monsters that are really good, like Tae and Moye or Tae and, like, Longguan, like, I don't have a play. So I have to make sure I get to a play. I go battle phase here. They activate the effect. They're going to tribute the token because if you don't know the ruling, that if they have a token while I activate evenly matched, they have to keep the token because the tokens cannot be banished face down. So it is very important for them to tribute the token so that they don't banish like a random card or like all of their cards. Because like the tokens don't matter because they leave the field during the end phase, I believe. So they're gonna go into Mardell, stuff like that, you know, Vala, that's, you know, that's fine. I'm still gonna banish with evenly match because they don't have any gates. And yeah, they're gonna activate Metaverse, that's fine. And now I'm in a weird spot here. I'm in a very weird spot. So a big thing here. So I was really thinking about what I do here. And worst case scenario, I was thinking in my head, if I don't draw into a playable hand and I take the Har with the Change of Heart, they're just going to get the Har back. So the best play here is to special summon the Ashuna. So even if I don't draw into Engine, I can still go Monk into Adara, into, you know, add back the Ashuna, and then link off, you know, the Har for something. Or just go like Ashuna, link these 2 off into Lina, and then they don't have a play. So, or they don't have the Har on the field next turn, because it goes to the it goes back to their field on the end phase of this turn. So I decided summoning Ashuna is probably going to be my play, whether, you know, I draw into Engine or not. So I activate the effect of Ashuna first. I'm thinking for a long time. I'm like, let me see my plays. What can I do here? And I, figure out that this is definitely the correct play. Then I activate the change of heart, and then I go for the talents. Talents draw 2. That's pretty good. They don't have, I know every card in their hand. They have double boss stage and the Vala because they added all of those cards to their hand. And now I am good. I draw into a Long Young, which is, not really that great. So I just go into Monk, and then I go Ashuna. And now what I figured out is that I was like, I can go into Lina, but guess what? The Har is a level 9, so you know what that means. I can go into a level 10 Synchro with the Adara, so that's a play you can see. See the lines, you see the lines. Shout out to Nesh. But yeah, I go into I can't go into this one because Sinister needs a non-tuner worm, so I'm gonna go into the other level 10 Synchro here. So yeah, I fixed the play. See, yeah, I go into Supreme Surin, whatever it's called, Changing, and then I go into the Long Young, and then I just the Shuna, and then I go into the Sinister anyway. So I had the line anyways. I just I did it in the wrong order, so that's fine. So here I'm pretty good because I have a banish, and then I have another banish with this, and then another banish with this, and I have Book of Eclipse. I have the Shudo next turn, so if I draw into like a level 4, like a Moe even, or a Tai, I could just go, bop, bop, go into Yazi, pop this, go into that, and then just game. So, I'm pretty good right now. I set the Book of Eclipse and pass, so I'm looking pretty good here. But, as you're going to see, my opponent has Boss Stage, my opponent has Vala, my opponent has Generator Boss Stage, and then a top deck, the Lava Golem. Of course, they always have it, right? They always have it. So, this is still fine, I guess. I still have the Lunar Eclipse to stop them from going into a rank 9 play, which is, like, really good. So they're gonna Vala. Vala is, like, the best card in the deck right now, aside the Boss Stage and the new rank 9 Synchro, which is, like, really good. So I'm just gonna stop the rank 9 Synchro from happening. So they're going to activate the effect of Vala, because Vala special summons from, I think, hand or grave? Yeah, so it special summons from hand or grave. They're going to summon back the Har, I believe. Yeah, they're going to summon back the Har. I think they're contemplating on whatever. Well, I don't think they have a choice, yeah. They could either go Lobster into something, whatever. But I don't think they have, yeah, they don't have Mardell anymore, so they can't even do that. So, I'm just going to go think and then use the effect of Lunar Eclipse. I stop them. They're going to activate Boss Stage. That's fine. And then after that, they pass their turn on Boss Stage. So, right now, I only have a Shuna here. And that's what my opponent's thinking, obviously. They're not going to know my top deck, but the only thing I have right now is a Shuna. That doesn't really do anything because I don't play the level 4 Tenyi. So I can't go like, even then, I'm pretty sure this locks you just in an extra deck. Just want to make sure. Also you get special summon monsters. So I can't even Destrudo afterward. So it's just, there's no real play except like a Shuna summon, whatever, and then, go from there. I don't really have like a decent play here. So they activate Boss Stage, they use the effect to summon out the Delusion, and then they summon out tokens. Now here, I think my opponent misplayed. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Let me see if they have a dark. They don't have a dark. Like, there's no plays that I could possibly do here. I just want to make sure, like, they didn't have another play, because I don't think you really need to use the effect of the illusion to banish, because you just wait for the Ashuna here, or yeah, the Ashuna activate the effect, go for Rashida or whatever, or Adara, and then you just banish the Adara or Ashuna, and that's fine. But yeah, they don't know my top deck. They're just gonna assume that I have a bad top deck here and just get rid of my Monk. Or if I draw into, like, I guess maybe if I draw into Adara specifically, and then I go Ashuna, go into Vishnu. I mean, they still could just, like, banish on, that. So, I don't know. Maybe it was a misplay. So, they get hard punished by the Tai normal summon. And from here, I just have, game. I just have to see the lines here. So, I go Tae, and now I'm thinking, do I need to go Bushido? Or not Bushido? Do I need to activate the effective Jushudo here? Because even though I probably don't need to go into Yazi, I still need damage on board to kill him, because they're at 68. So I was thinking, I'm probably going to have Baxia. I'm probably going to have Lava Golem on my field. So that's already 53. And then just Deshudo is going to be 63. And now I have, Ashuna is going to have its effect. So that's going to be, Vashida, that's 15. So that's already over game. So I was like, yes, I do need to activate the effect of Deshudo first before I activate the... Yeah, so I checked my deck. I'm checking if I have Adara on my deck, which is fine here because I saw the line. So I'm going to activate Ashuna first. Obviously, that's not the correct play. So I was like, actually, I'm going to fix it because we're texting. So I was like, let me see the line. I was like, yeah. I saw the damage, and I go Deshudo. Deshudo activate its effect, targeting the Tae. I don't think... You can target the token as well. It doesn't really matter. Just need the damage. So I activate the effect of the Ashuna. That's going to summon the Vashida from deck. And then I go... Yeah, I go into the Baxia. Baxia is going to spin. And then I go into Vashida, into Monk. And then I use the Vashida effect to bounce back the heart. And then that is basically game. Because it's 1,000, 1,000, that's 2,000. And then 2,000 plus 23, that's 43. And then, that's 73. So that's game on board. So moving on to the next game. If I, fast forward. Let's just click next game. So next game. So my game plan is, if my opponent lets me start, it's fine. Because I side into stuff like thrusting. I side into just more going first and going second cards like Ash Blossom, Droll. Like, just hand traps in general are good going first and going second. So even if they make me go first, the Swordsoul engine is still pretty fine going first. It's just that it's sometimes hard. So I was like, I could also side a D-barrier because I'm starting thrusting. So if they hand trap me and go thrusting, set the D-barrier or whatever, if I was playing against like Despia or whatever, and that could be good. Or if I side in a pointer, specifically in this matchup, because like D-barrier is not really that great into this deck, because they can just go boss stage pass, and that's like really, really strong anyways. So I was like, I could probably just, set a pointer, and that's like fine. Or even Blackout is like really good to set off of the thrusting. So I don't even really need a pointer. So I think like siding into these going first, going second cards that are like really, really strong is fine. Especially if like I'm blinding second. So in game 3, even if I lose game 3 or I lose game 2, because I could just, choose go first, go second. I'm gonna just go first. It just side into D-barrier, anti-spell, like these like really powerful cards going first, and then just blow out my opponent. So that's just really good. So as you see, I stick with my game plan. I'm playing these going second cards still, because even if I go first, like generators as a deck isn't really that strong going second. So they only have like Lava Golem Spirit mode, and that's it. And even then, like that doesn't really do much when I have like my whole engine rolling with like Blackout, maybe even like a Monk on the field. So Blackout Monk can pop like the field spell, or can pop 2 level 9s. Or if I have stuff like Book of Eclipse, Lunar Eclipse, they're like kind of behind at that point because my engine's kind of already rolling at that point. So it's just kind of hard for them going second in general. So I was like, it's fine. I'm just gonna keep in my going second cards, even going first. That's where you see the change of heart. They activate the boss quest. They're just doing, typical generator plays. They're gonna get to their boss stage, which is like their game plan, and they're not gonna go into the new rank 9. They're gonna go into the Jormungand or whatever it's called, the previous level 9 or rank 9 XYZ, which is gonna be able to have them each player draw a card and then attaches a card from my hand to their field or to their monster. So I draw into Evilly Match, which is like really, really good and really, really bad for them, because now I can go thrusting into another Evilly Match, and if they put up a negate, it's just fine. Or I could just like search anything with thrusting. I could search stuff like Emergence, stuff like if I didn't have Change Your Heart, I'd search Change Your Heart. I can search like Feather Duster if they have floodgates like that. So it's just like very versatile in that scenario. So they're gonna use the effect of the field spell. That's gonna give them a token, and they're also gonna get the Harp from the deck, which is like fine. They're also gonna use the effect of the Vala. And then they're going to go into Interblathonir. That's going to rip a card from my hand. And now I'm hoping that they don't hit the evenly match, or they don't hit the thrusting, because that could be pretty bad. Also, the Yugioh could be really bad. So, like, I feel like the best hit for this is the Change of Heart, because if they hit the Yugioh, I have to rely on the top deck here. I mean, not really, because I could go thrusting. If I'm just going for max, like, evenly match, like, hit all their cards, then I just want them to hit Change Heart in this scenario. So I'm like hoping that they hit the Change of Heart here, and as you're gonna see, they definitely hit the Change of Heart, which is like fine. They're gonna set 2 cards in pass, which they have like the boss fights, which is like fine in my situation. I top deck into Ecclesia. Now that is a very, very good card because it gets me into my engine, which is like Moe, Taie, whatever I need, which is like super, super good. They go into the Hela, which uses its effect to summon a generator from the graveyard. So now they have Har set up, they have the Jarmenguard, they have, you know, just like a whole full field of just monsters, which is like really good. And now I go thrusting into evenly match, and from here I'm just like really good. They go Har, rip a card from my hand, that's fine. I'm just gonna get rid of the Yugioh because I don't really need the second one because I drew into engine. And now I go in a battle phase, evenly match. They're going to negate, and then I go evenly match again. And then they're going to banish everything but the boss fight, which is like fine. Because even if they activate the boss fight, I get a draw. And that's like another card I can use to like build up a board. And now I go Ecclesia effect, go into Moe. And like from here, it's just pretty standard, right? I just go into, I believe, Grandmaster. Yeah, Grandmaster 1, Moe 2. That's going to draw into Vishudo, which is, like, really good right now. And then I just go for follow-up, which is Taie. And then here I go into the Yugioh. Yugioh is going to summon itself and then produce a token. And now my opponent has to activate something, you know, unless they just want to get their stuff and get it by Baron. Or pot by Baron. So they're going to activate the boss fight. I'm going to draw one. And I'm drawing into this card. I was testing this card out. It's not really that great. Just play other cards. Just play other cards. Don't even look at this card. Don't even look at this card. It's still really good in this scenario because I can get rid of the field spell, but that really doesn't work. Like, it's not good. It's not good. I was testing. But, yeah, they summon out Lopter. They go produce tokens. And now I'm like, anything on res? You're good. And then I just go into the Baron. Baron's gonna just negate this and then, or pop and then negate. And yeah, like this is just fine. Yeah, I just negate. Like it just doesn't matter in this situation. Like they can't do anything. And now they're just top decking at this point, and now they top deck into a Har, and that's just GG. So that is it for the raid play. Let's just look at the deck profile and just look at what is like really good with this deck. So, or like the theory. So we're just playing the 3 Emergence, 3 Moe, 3 Long 1, 2 Taie, 3 Ecclesia, 1 Blackout. That's just pretty standard. That's like the cookie cutter like ratios of the core engine. And then I'm playing less of the Tenyis because I feel like the Tenyis are kind of bad going second against the Kashtira deck because that's going to be a little bit popular. So I didn't want to commit too hard on the Tenyis, so I just cut down on the Tenyis. I still think they're very good in the deck. I think you should definitely play at least like 1 copy of each of them in your deck because you need to have like good targets to send off of the Taie, which is like really good. So I'm just playing the 4 minimum ones, and then I'm just playing all these block going second cards. I'm playing Destrudo. Destrudo is like really good because Yazi's like strong. There's nothing to really explain about that. Like Yazi pop, going to Taie, going to Moe, and just combo off is just like really, really powerful. Especially if you like Moe reveal, they negate with like Imperm, and you just go Yazi pop like another card, and then you know produce another card, and then they have to disrupt that. So like you just bait out like 3 disruptions with just like 2 cards, which is like super insane. And then, as I said before, playing the thrusting, the talents, the change of heart, the Harpy's Feather Duster just for like back row, because back row could kind of be like kind of problematic, especially when you're going second. Like, you don't need to like have like 10 billion answers to the Castira board. You want to get rid of their follow up like Birth. You want to get rid of stuff like Despia if they have like Branded Fusion, or not Branded Fusion, Branded in red, stuff like that. Or if you're playing against Labyrinth, you want to have the one of Feather Duster you can have to out stuff like what's that card called? Goes in, Skill Drain, Rivalry, stuff like that. So having the one-ups like these are like really good. Lightning Storm, as I said before, it's not really for, you know, because like Lightning Storm's not going to be able to destroy Shangri-La or the defense position, Arise Heart. It's just really to get rid of their follow-ups, like the Field Spell, like the Birth. Maybe they have stuff like Book of Eclipses that could be really problematic for you. Maybe they have stuff like Imperm that's set. Like, it's just really good to have that utility going second, not just like going all in on Book of Eclipses, like playing like Book of Moon and Dark Hole and Raigeki. It's really good to just like versatile your going second cards in that way, because you're gonna have a good chance of just opening up Lunar Eclipse and Book of Eclipse and all these other going second cards because you have an extra card in your hand because you're going second. And then playing stuff like Ash Blossom, playing the Droll and Lockbird, just cards for stuff like Drytron. Drytron is like a really good going first card, and or not going first card, going first deck. And if you don't have hand traps against that deck, they can pretty much FTK you. So, or if you're playing against like an FTK deck in general, it could be pretty problematic. So like having stuff like Ash and Droll and the Bystials in general are just like really powerful hand traps, are just like really good, especially like when you're deciding if your opponent is going to make you go first or second. You can just go, oh, I'm just going to side in Bystials, oh, I'm going to side in Droll, oh, I'm going to side in like Ash Blossom. And then again, as I said before, like stuff like Anti-Spell is like really good against Castira. D-Barrier is obviously really good against Despia and Swordsoul. So like having these options are just really powerful. And then the extra deck is like pretty standard. I played the Lina in the dark because these cards are just really powerful going second, just to steal stuff. And then I'm playing like Zeus. Zeus is really good. Even though I don't play XYZs, obviously you could take with like talents or change your heart. You can take their Rise Heart, go into Zeus, wipe their board. You can go take any of their XYZs. Like, I don't know, like in general, if Sprite summons a lot of XYZs, they're gonna end on stuff like Gigantic, so you can take that, attack, and then go into Zeus, wipe their field. Then you can just go Moye or Taya, you know, or not Taya, yeah. And then, you know, clear their board. So you have a lot of options going second with this deck. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I rambled on long enough. Hopefully you guys change your mind on how you're going to build Swordsoul moving into this early format. And hopefully you learned something today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm out. Peace.